Hey everybody, it is The Trout and welcome to another episode of The Trout Show. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today's episode we have a fantastic young lady that is an award-winning, multi-talented music artist. Her name is Damoyee. She hails out of Dallas, Texas. Started playing piano at the age of 2. She's a singer, songwriter, producer, arranger, recording artist, you name it, she's got it all. This episode, we get to learn more about Damoyee and what she's been doing in the music industry and how she's having a huge impact on the music industry. So sit back, get yourself an adult beverage, and listen to this episode of The Trout Show with Damoyee, her award-winning music. That's next on The Trout Show.
Meet a financial advisor who learns what truly matters to you, creating financial strategies that support a life you love. That's David Smith with Edward Jones. His years of experience has assisted dozens of clients, just like you, to weave their way through the maze of financial opportunities available. One quick call at 469-372-1587 and David can assist your financial wants and needs. That's David Smith with Edward Jones at 469-372-1587. Remember, it's your financial future, make it a rewarding one. David Smith at 469-372-1587.
Your bio says you started doing things when you were 2.
Yes.
It's hard for all of us to remember that. Do you even remember that? When's your first earliest, memory of playing or doing something?
I would say my earliest memory, I can't remember it to like a full extent.
Right.
I remember like bits and pieces here and there of my first piano recital. It was May of 2004. I was 3.
And you do remember some of it?
Like bits and pieces of it, yeah.
Do you even remember what you played?
No.
Okay. Well, at least you remember you were there.
Yes. I remember like the feeling of being shy. Like having like a little bit of stage fright.
But 3.
What I played, no.
Sorry, Mom, I'm having stage fright here. Just give me a minute. Yeah. You're 3.
Yeah, I was 3.
You obviously realized at a very early age that you had the music bug, disease, that if you get it, it's with you the rest of your life. It never goes away.
Yeah.
But I think the other thing, too, that after reading all this wonderful comments about you, that you didn't take the path. Well, you took the path of a lot of people, but, you started out. What was your first main instrument you played? Didn't you play clarinet or something like that? Or did I read that? Or what did you play? Kind of the main instrument that you started on.
I started on piano.
Okay.
When I was 2. My parents had actually put me in piano lessons very, very young. It was actually them that realized at first that I had the music bug.
Yeah.
I love telling this story. It all started, I guess they were just watching me or like, doing parent stuff around the house, and I was watching Sesame Street, and I had started replicating all of these rhythms and melodies from the songs from the show, and my parents were watching this and they were like, yep, we need to put her in piano lessons. So piano was my first instrument.
But then as you grew older, you started playing other instruments. I mean, usually I would look at it from somebody like me that I can sit here and play a little piano. I could play any string instrument basically, but that come with skill set from doing the other. You started earlier, I think, in going to different instruments because piano to a wind instrument, it's completely different.
I think clarinet was my fourth Instrument, I like to count singing as an instrument. That came
Oh,
shortly
absolutely.
after
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
playing piano. Then I learned guitar, and then I picked up clarinet in my last half of intermediate school and middle school. I was in my like both schools band. So,
What is still your favorite instrument to play?
probably the keytar. I love the keytar.
That's kind
That
of
is
a
my
cool thing.
favorite
Yeah.
instrument. Yeah.
And you played that when I saw you that night. I believe you did.
Yeah.
Isn't that the one you hold up and play? It's got the thing on it.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
it back here actually. It's like just sitting
Oh,
here.
yeah, there it is. Yep.
Yep, this is my keytar. My favorite instrument.
It's kind of big.
It's heavy. Believe
Now,
me.
who makes that? Who's the manufacturer on that? Is that a
Um,
Roland? It's not a Roland, is it?
yeah, it's a Roland. It's a
Okay.
Roland. Right.
Yeah. I figured as much. They're the ones that doing stuff like that. They've been around doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then as you progressed, because you were so young at so many things, and I read this, but when did you start recording and you said, "Oh, I need to do an EP or something like that"? I mean,
Hmm.
you had to start writing your own music, but you were
I
young.
ooh. I was around 11, 12 when I really got into like the process of what it was like to be an artist
Right.
recording an EP. And when I was 13, I had dropped my first EP, Thankful. I think it was in like September. It's not on platforms. I took it down. I might put it back up one day, but I
I,
took it
I know
down.
why you took it down too.
I mean, I was young and
Sure.
the writing at the time, it was just so innocent, so sweet, and my voice
I was going to
sounds
say your voice has changed probably a lot.
yeah. I was definitely in pop star mode at the time. But but yeah, I started that like whole recording process like in my preteens.
Yeah, I was thinking about this when I saw something read about you. Are you a Prince fan?
I am such a Prince fan.
When you said your favorite, and of course I know stuff goes in the bio. It said your favorite color is purple. I said I bet you he's a Prince fan too.
I am such a Prince fan. Purple Rain is my favorite movie of all time. I love that movie religiously.
You got into, at a very young age doing a lot of music. When was the time when somebody said, "Oh, I think you're really good, and I think you need to go to the next level"? In other words, I wouldn't say you were discovered. Maybe you do say you're discovered,
Mhm.
but you were doing sync librarying stuff. I mean, you've done a lot. You've done some sync stuff, haven't you, to TV or commercials and things like that? Have you done some of that too? Where the music's gone to places like that?
Um, Sync specifically, no,
Okay,
but partnering with brands, yes.
okay. When you're approached by a company, was it an agency that approached you, or was it the company itself?
Are you talking about like in general or for AT&T?
Well, in general, I guess my question is, you'd put some music out, and you'd been
Mhm.
doing a lot of good things. Somebody had to hear your music somewhere. So I
Yeah.
don't know whether people was pushing it out for you or somebody, because there's a lot of music out there.
With most of my partnerships with brands, most of it has come from them finding me from posting content. And it
Right.
would be like a various of things like some memes here and there on music theory, or me sharing my arrangements of covers, sharing my music as well, emphasizing, hey, I'm a music artist, this is my music, you should check me out. But most of it would come from them finding me. As far as AT&T goes, for my piece that is for my piece that plays for one of their venues, the Windsor Opera House,
Mm.
that was actually through a small competition where
Oh,
AT&T partnered up with Booker T, and this was my senior year.
that was your high school you went to, yeah.
Yeah, the high school I went to, Booker T. Washington High School for the Performing and Visual Arts. Gotta say the full title, you know?
When did you discover that? I mean, how would you figure that out I mean, is it something in school you did, or how did that come about?
I honestly, from what I've read when I first discovered the concept of perfect pitch, absolute pitch, I, I think it's merely just I think being born with it.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're absolutely true. It's a gift.
Yeah.
It's a
It's
gift.
and I mean it's something that I've yeah, it's something that just I've always had, you know? So yeah, I think it's just in a means of being born with it.
What do you do when you first come up with an idea? Are you a melody person, or you just come up with a couple of things like, oh, I like this? Do you like to play it on your? What do you when you start writing song? You comes up with an idea. Is it on your keyboards, your guitar? What do you usually start out with?
It usually depends, but if I were to give it a like a percentage scale,
Hmm.
70% of the time the first thing I touch is the keyboard to figure out like melody and chords simultaneously. The other 30, I sometimes log in a melodic idea lyrically.
Mm.
Like I might have like a hook line in my head or maybe even a verse, quite rarely a bridge, but I record it, internalize it, and then see where it goes from there.
Do
But
you
it's
ever?
mostly like touching the keys.
So most of the stuff. Do you ever out and about and then pull your phone out and go, oh, I got an idea? Do you ever? I mean, just
Pulling
yeah.
out that was a voice memo
Yeah.
instantly. Or the notes app, if I hear words but not melody, type it down. Yeah.
Because if you don't, the next day you go, what was that thing I forgot it. Because it
Exactly.
tends it'll disappear from you.
I'm a very forgetful person. So I gotta log it in instantly any way that I can.
As good as you are, what's your goal now? I mean, you got your degree at a wonderfully, I mean, come on, Berkeley. And I used to think, well, they talk about Berkeley. That's a university, and they didn't realize it's Berkeley Music School because they have one on the East
Yeah.
Coast too. What's kind of your goal now with your music?
I I have many goals as far as my personal artistry.
Hmm.
I am currently working on kind of shifting the gears a bit and taking a new approach with a new project that I am working on, which I will be announcing soon on all of my social platforms. But I will still be, writing music, producing music and stuff like that. As a composer, I'm always looking for all kinds of opportunities to put myself more out there as a composer. I mean, previous to now, I've scored a movie, I've scored a TV show, and I'm I'll still be looking and finding a lot more opportunities within the same realm as that. As a performer, I mean, I still have this goal of, I'm gonna just continue to post. I'll reshare like, what I do here at home, like repurposing content from like a live stream show. Oh, I didn't even mention. So, previous now, every I think Monday, Friday of last year, I hosted like a live streaming show called Loopcore Live, where
Okay.
where I think like a good hour and a half, I just live loop right on camera. It'd be like a mix of originals and covers and stuff like that. And from repurposing that content on all my platforms, I've been able to land quite a few gigs out here in Dallas. I am manifesting a potential tour. We're manifesting.
Ooh,
We're manifesting.
ooh.
We are we are believing in it. We are telling ourselves, I will get a tour. I will get a
You
tour.
know, I like that. But on your tour, would you be by yourself? I mean, was it you're going to do a solo, or are you going to? If you're manifesting this in your brain, are you expecting people to come along with you and perform with you, or how do you see that?
Honestly, yes. I love playing with a band. The feeling is so, I mean, yeah, the feeling is so different from like playing with a band and then playing by yourself.
Mm,
When I am performing by myself, I love it. I enjoy it. I get to
yeah.
go on stage and dance to my heart's content. I get to, have all this free space to just kind of be loose and be myself. But with being with a band and like being surrounded by so many like-minded people and friends that love music like you do, like the energy is just so much different, you
Oh
know?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would love to bring a band along. Yeah. It was actually one of my first things that I like needed to get done as soon as I got on campus. As soon as I got to Berkeley,
You wanted a
I
band.
was like, I was like, I need to start a band immediately. So I'm like scoping around. I'm seeing everybody I've met so far, and
Because
within
you know they're all good players, or they wouldn't be there, right?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And I was like, you know what? Let me just find them. And then within a week, I found them.
Well,
And I still call them up for gigs because I've known them for like 5 years now. I think three of them. Yeah, I've known for like 5 years.
when people ask you this, I know this is not easy. I know people. It's when people ask you, "What do you play? What kind of genre do you play?" What do you tell them? I mean, I
Yeah.
saw a little bit. Is there any way you can tell? I mean, so let's just go back. You're a freshman at Berkeley looking
Mhm.
for a band. You had to go up to them and tell them something, or did you just say, "Hey, listen to what I play," and then you know,
The other funny thing about it is that when I was forming that band, I was also looking for people for a gig that I had landed in New York. As soon as I was up there, it was happening that following November of 2019,
wow,
and this is also all happening like immediately after I had dropped my third studio album on my birthday, October 4th, The Whole Truth. And at the time, I was telling people, oh, I'm a pop jazz R&B artist.
yeah,
And with that whole album, I recorded it in a studio with a band. Like we were all tracking out. I had a guitar player, had a bass player, I had drums. I know one song on that album, I played everything except drums. I still have yet to learn drums, to be honest. But yeah, at the time I was telling everybody, I'm a pop jazz R&B artist. I
right,
rap pretty standard-ish.
pretty
But
standard, something like that.
standard-ish.
Yeah, I understand.
Um, but but yeah, yeah, that's what I would say at the time. But now it's more like after I released my latest project, well, actually my most recent latest projects, one of them, Perplexed. With that, I'd tell everybody, "Oh, I'm an electropop alternative artist with hints of jazz, classical folk with more of an electronic twist." It's like it'd be a little bit of a mouthful. I mean, even when saying I'm electropop and alternative R&B, and then with loopcore, it's like, oh, I live loop basically kind of all the genres mixed, but mostly
Yeah,
pop R&B. So it's like
that's funny.
I'd be a bit scattered like every time, but I think generally I would still probably say pop jazz R&B.
I want to go back to what you got your degree in.
Hmm.
I have a acquaintance of mine that writes for movies out in California, but do you still want to do that? I mean, that's what your degree in, is scoring for movies or TV
Yeah.
shows.
It's still something that I still want to do. It's the long-term goal. I mean, I know in my heart of hearts that I still want to continue being an artist. I still want to continue being a performer. I still want to make jazz, R&B, pop, in that field, but I know for the rest of my life until I mean, pun intended, decompose. Um, that like being a composer and composing for film and TV shows, like that's something that I want to do for the rest of my life.
I'm just,
Every day I wake up thankful that I was raised classically, you know?
so, yeah. So let's talk about your parents. Are they musicians? Or they have any kind of musical talent?
No?
No.
Well, they'd be a little shy. They could sing a little bit.
Right. I
They
got you.
they sing around the house,
Yeah.
when some tunes are being played. And my mom, at one point, she sung alto in a church choir. She was the one holding the tambourine. I mean, they both got a good sense of rhythm. They both have a good sense of
That
rhythm.
is funny. I like
But
that.
as far as professionally,
Yeah.
no, I'm the only musician in my family and extended family.
And also, what did they listen to when you were growing up? What was their
Ah,
genre?
see, they put me on everything pre 1999. So all the different pop, R&B, disco, rock, everything like
Yeah.
pre 1999. Yeah.
So if you're going to an era and you're
hmm
listening to R&B, what do you listen? Who's your favorite R&B artist? Let's say from the 70s or 80s.
I don't like answering these questions because I just, I just love it all. You
Yeah, I
know,
understand. I understand.
I mean, if I had to pick a favorite, have to be Stevie Wonder.
Mm.
Has to be Stevie Wonder.
Have you been approached by labels, record labels? Have anybody come to you and said, "Hey, we're interested in signing you"? Or
Only once, and it was during my high school years. I was signed to an independent label out in Dallas called State Fair Records.
mm,
And with them, I had produced my third studio album, The Whole Truth. And, it was an experience. I got to see what it was like to be an artist signed to a label, getting performances and stuff like that.
yeah,
But I think a few years after I had released that album, I think sometime in 2022, I believe I had left the label, but since then I've been completely independent. No label, no manager, no like distribution deal or anything, just completely independent. When it's like when people do listen to some of my songs, it I mostly get that reaction of I've been through that before.
mm,
Like they'll point out like a lyric or even just like the song itself and be like, I relate to this.
yeah.
That or really mostly from my loopcore songs that I have out. I've had people tell me, like, your music has kept me uplifted. Your music has got me out of a rock and a hard place. It's like the reaction is mainly on relatability.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's when you know you've done good. What's your goals this coming year and after? I mean, other than manifesting a tour,
Yeah.
you you got a new project. I know you don't mention, but you got a new project coming out. But what's your immediate and kind of long term?
So immediate. I believe in about a week from now, I will be performing at a convention in Anaheim, California, called
Cool.
with a full band. It'll be a 10 piece, including myself. Immediately after that, I'll be also performing, but at the same time co-hosting an after show, like an after party show
Hmm.
or NAM as well. I have like a
Oh, that's
bill.
right. You're going to NAM.
I am going
Yeah.
to.
So yeah.
I always wanted to go to NAM. I've heard so many great things about NAMM and like being
Hmm.
like the vendors and like seeing all the brands, like meeting other musicians. And last year I finally got to go and it was so surreal. I got to see like some of my friends perform. I got to meet some fellow content creators that I've known online for like the past year or
That's
two.
interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it was also weird because I mean, I do live in the day and age where, like, you're a content creator, you're gonna meet friends online,
Sure.
but to finally meet them in person, like, it was so heartwarming. And then when I had left NAMM, I was like, you know what? Next year, I'm performing.
And there you go. There you are.
Yep.
So
But
when you get, if you haven't already been asked, when you started signing autographs, you let me know. Just text me, Rick. I got an autograph. I got several. I've been standing here because I'm going to be watching a movie one day. I know it's your credit's going to come up and your name's going to be on there, and I'm going like,
hey,
hey, look who wrote the
we're
music for it.
we're
Or some
manifesting.
TVs. If you could get a gig, it's a tough gig, but if you could get a gig on a TV show that you could do it for like 10 years, where you're the one who writes all the music for it all the time, that'd be a pretty solid gig. And then you're sitting, you'll be living in your mansion somewhere, having people wait on you.
Yeah.
And people, all right, so last question I want to ask you before I get off here.
Mhm.
How many people, manufacturers or brands have contacted you about using their equipment? Have you had people approach you and go, do you want to try some of our stuff?
In person, no, but through like online interaction, yes. Oh my gosh. Wait, why am I forgetting? So this mic is actually one of them.
Okay, who's
I
that made by?
I received it through JBL. It's an
Oh,
AKG.
it's an AKG. Okay.
Yeah. My current studio monitors, Atom Audio T8Vs. And then, oh, I think two more. This Micro Freak
Oh, that's cool.
synthesizer I got from Arturia. And then my acoustic guitar that I got from Yamaha.
And it's your guitar's your electric's a Yamaha, is it not, or something else?
My electric is a Epiphone,
Epiphone.
semi hollow body. Yeah.
And your bass,
My bass is Ibanez,
Ibanez.
and it's a short stock because I got no stretch. I barely have stretch on a regular bass.
Well,
So
I don't know. You're doing all this stuff with the keyboards, and
no,
no.
the keyboard, yeah, I have a little bit of a stretch, but with bass, it's like
Oh yeah.
I gotta have a short stock.
And you got to build up. That's the other thing too. You got to build up those calluses.
Exactly.
Remember the first time you start playing and you're like, "This is not going to work. My fingers are killing me."
Yeah, I don't miss that feeling.
I wait for you to be playing and somebody wants to give you strings. I can't believe nobody's contracted said, "Here's some strings for you."
Yeah.
But I mean, you're more of a visual keyboard person anyway.
Call me for keys and guitar.
Yeah. Would you like to try one of our baby grants? Oh, I don't know. Okay, you can send it in to me. I'll try it. Do I have to send it back? No, if you don't like it, we don't want it back. And so, well, all I want to tell you is you're very talented. I thank you so much for talking to me.
No, thank
Love
you
your
for having
music.
me.
You think you're really something now, keeping us on the down low so nobody can figure out I was your first. You don't wanna remember how I kept you uplifted and I just couldn't allow you to be at your worst. I'ma keep it honest, I'm feeling toxic. You didn't treat me right, so she can have you, yeah, yeah. Have yourself where you weren't for me, and I bet it's hard to forget all about me, 'cause she ain't me, yeah. But also what it was for you. Ah. otherwise. Wanna be womanizer, you need her for your lonely nights. I don't play desperate, I don't chase a silly fights. Now that I'm classier, and now I play nice. I ain't rolling dice, I don't gamble in love. Now I play right. How's your new life? Found a new light. Does she feel good? Does she burn bright? I'ma keep it honest, I'm feeling toxic. You didn't treat me right, so she can't have it, yeah, yeah. I'm used to what you weren't for me, and I bet it's hard to forget all about me, cause you ain't me, yeah, yeah, yeah. None of those what I was for you. I'm taking off my mask and I'm playing pretender, and I'm playing games, yeah.
Well, that's it for this episode of the Trout Show. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it very much. Appreciate Damoyee coming on and talking about her musical journey. I'm going to tell you something. I met her at a Grammy event in Dallas recently and heard her perform. She's phenomenal. Well, I put on a one-person show, I'm telling you. Appreciate her coming on and talking about her history and her musical journey. If you want to know more about Damoyee, you go to her website. Her name is spelled Damoyee, Damoyee.com for more information about Damoyee. And also a big shout out to our supporter, David Smith with Edward Jones. He continues to support this channel, and we appreciate it very much. For more information about The Trout Show, just go to our website. You can find everything there, podcasts, YouTubes, and music that I recently released, a brand new album. So until next time, people, you know what I always say. It's only rock and roll, but I love it. See ya.